Hang on, this isn't working for some reason. Okay. I probably need to restart it because, yeah, I haven't rated you guys yet. Hello, Horn Gods, I'm Jostra, and welcome to Getting Over It if the game actually decides to show up. If not, then I probably have to reset everything. Hang on. Yeah, I probably need to reset it. It's probably because I haven't booted up this game in a long time. If not, I'll just end the stream abruptly and boot up. No, it's not me, it's the game for some reason. Yeah, I'll just quickly delete this scene. Sorry about this, we're having technical difficulties. It's been a while. Oop. More like my computer forgot how to stream. And it's still not showing. Yeah, you can hear it, but it's not showing. Okay, looks like I have to do this a different way. Maybe. Probably need to do screen capture. There we go. I had to use another option instead of game capture, so that took a solid 3 minutes. Yeah, we were just having some technical difficulties because it's been a while since I played this game. So, yeah. Also, I mentioned I was gonna do a challenge. That challenge is I'm giving myself 6 lives, right? If I lose a life each time, I lose a life each time I end up back on. If I end up back in the beginning. Also, I haven't played this game in a while, so. No! I'll try not to lose my mind. Or else it's gonna be an interesting stream. My wrist hurts already. I think right now it's too early to claim I lost a life. Because we haven't even got past this part yet. The controls feel weird. I'm taking my mouse pad away. Okay, I need the mouse pad back. For some reason, why does it hurt when I play it now? Probably need to launch there. How are you guys? You guys miss me? No? Okay, good. No. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know how I did that. I promise I'll keep my mind in check this stream. We don't want what happening last stream to happen. Oh yeah, what do you call it? Mama Dragon says we should get a Netflix account again, but I think it's too late to do a watch along for the Devil May Cry series because I've already kind of seen some of it, and yeah, it's something. Like it really is something. Like, I don't know. It feels weird. The series feels weird. I haven't played this in a while, so I don't exactly remember how I... Uh-oh. Like, I know the reboot was like... had some political commentary, but it shows you who the actual enemies are, right? I might get into some spoiler territory. And also the reboot said it was gonna have its own unique take on the series. The Netflix series is they're trying to use the original timeline as a base, but it doesn't, and they're also trying to do a different political commentary. Instead of I know in my chat rules I said not to discuss politics, but I'm not really discussing politics. It's yeah. The reboot talked about consumerism and corpo corruption, right? Because Mundus or Mundus in that timeline was technically a big shot CEO politician. But meanwhile in the Netflix series, it's a commentary on religion and the government. But I'm not gonna mention the country because politics. If you watch it, you know what country it is. I mean, it should be obvious. Which is kind of weird. And I'm not gonna say it's the UK. Because, okay, one of the design choices for the original Devil May Cry timeline, and even the reboot acknowledged it, is that Dante, or Redgrave City specifically, is supposed to have British aesthetics, like British Gothic. That's why in Devil May Cry 5, Redgrave City looks kind of like London, right? Even the reboot did it too. In fact, they really wanted to, besides Ninja Theory being a British company, they also apparently they also kind of acknowledged that Dante's design was supposed to be British like. That's why they tried to reference that by giving Dante a Union Jack on his jacket. But the Netflix series ignores that. And also, Devil May Cry is not actually British. It's like a fictional version of Britain. Like, it's not British, it's fictional version. But you really only see it around 5 and a little bit of the reboot. The reboot still had some American vibes. And I'm stuck. Okay, I'm gonna use this lamp to launch! I didn't launch well enough. Okay. I need to stop saying okay a lot. But that's not... Like, when I... They really did. Like, people started comparing it to Has-Been Hotel. Like, I'm not saying Has-Been Hotel is bad. It's just that they just think swearing is funny or something. They kind of did that with Lady. Not only that, they're going with the whole approach that demons are actually misunderstood creatures. Meanwhile, in both the main timeline and the reboot, demons are just outright evil. They want to take over humanity. But in the reboot, it's more like, yeah, demons still want to take over humanity, but they're also at war with angels because angels want to protect humanity. You know, the classic Western biblical thing. To quote, if you guys watch Invincible, to quote Omni Invincible, swearing doesn't make you cool. Also, Dante gets beat up a lot in the Netflix series. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed some of it. I'm not saying some of it. I did enjoy quite a decent amount of it. Like, the action scenes were cool. How Virgil, spoiler alert, Virgil's working for Mundus. But the thing is, the series actually says Mundus, like the reboot does. You know? Not only that, people start complaining that, on the bright side, Dante Dachi, you were worried about them using the devil trigger from the reboot. They didn't. They used the actual devil trigger. I was right with how they were using the manga's idea that Dante has a pre-devil trigger state where only his eyes glow. Also, one of the main complaints that people had of the series is that not only did Dante have Nero's voice, mind you, Johnny Young Bosch still did a good job. Like, he still made his Dante sound different compared to his Nero. He, okay, just slowly. Yeah, they put, Devil Trigger as Dante's Devil Trigger theme, which, in my opinion, it does match, young Dante. embrace the darkness that's within me. But people were complaining that, oh, this is Nero's theme. And he also has Nero's voice actor. So why don't they just have Nero? In my opinion, that's a bad take. Like, I'm enjoying the series as its own thing, right? Like, I'm not connecting it to... to either the reboot or the main timeline. But I'm still upset with things like characterization of characters and how Dante gets beaten up. Also the whole what was I gonna say? Oh! The whole demon thing. Like how demons are just misunderstood. Because the thing about the main timeline and even the reboot is that demons are inherently evil, but they have the potential to be good. Like Sparta's apprentices, and this guy from the anime whose name I keep forgetting, he fell in love with a human. Like, demons are inherently evil in the main timeline and the reboot because we meet that Phileas guy who teaches Dante about Devil Trigger. But in this Netflix series, they're just outright morally gray, like humans. Like, they can be good or evil. That's why the series is called Devil May Cry. Like, not counting the reboot, because I'm pretty sure the term Devil May Cry for the reboot is making fun of Mundus, because Dante probably wants to make him cry by taking away his stuff. The series is called Devil May Cry because of what Lady said. Maybe somewhere out there, even a devil may cry. It's because demons don't feel emotions like humans do. That's why Dante in Devil May Cry 1 said, and Devil May Cry 2, mind you, that Lucina and Trish are like humans because they actually cried and felt emotions. Devils never really cry. Hello, relaxed. Devils don't cry. Hence why Devil May Cry. Uh-oh. I still have 6 lives. If I end up back on the tree, I'll lose a life. And then if I lose all my lives, I end stream. So I'm being careful here. Let's not forget about what Dante said to Agnes in Devil May Cry 4. Demons are lacking something humans have. Which is, emotions. I guess. Even Sparta became more human-like because he fell in love with humanity. Okay, which are you asking? Apparently there's a shortcut here, but I'm not gonna risk it. In Devil May Cry, the main timeline, it's mostly about Sparta's legacy and how Dante, lives up to it, but in his own way. In Devil May Cry 1, it's about Dante finally getting a chance at revenge for his mother's death. Because Mundus was gonna come back. Devil May Cry 2, it doesn't matter. The story really doesn't matter. It's like a CEO wanting to become a demon, and Dante has to stop him. Devil May Cry 3 is a prequel. It's about Dante climbing the demonic tower Terra Negru or something. I fully forgot its name. I think I got it right. And stopping his brother Virgil. Devil May Cry 4 is about him. Is set later down the timeline where he's a bit older and he has to stop the Order of the Sword because the Order of the Sword wants to release demons onto the world so they could prove their point that they are humanity's saviors. Yeah, it's about family. Because in Devil May Cry 1, wait. I'm not sure. I've said this joke before, but I'm gonna say it again. In Devil May Cry 1, Dante kills Mundus. Well, seals away Mundus, right? Seals away Mundus. Mundus created Trish. Trish is so that would mean that Mundus is technically Trish's dad, right? Dante fought Trish's dad. And Devil May Cry 2, Dante technically killed Arius until, you know, he was resurrected as a demon and you have to kill him as Lucina. Why did I say Lucina? That's Fire Emblem. Lucia. So Dante killed Lucia's dad because Lucia created what's his name? Arius created Lucia, so Dante killed Lucia's dad. Well, half killed him, then Lucia killed her own dad. Devil May Cry 3, you kill, you fight, and you don't, and Lady kills him. You fight Arkham, who is Lady's dad. Once again, Dante fought another dad. In Devil May Cry 4, it's later revealed that in 5 that what's his name? Agnes is Nico's dad. So Dante fought Nico's dad. In Devil May Cry 5, Dante fought Virgil, who is Nero's dad. Dante is fighting dads. And it continues even into the reboot, because this time, not only do you kill the dad, Virgin killed the entire family. Like, Virgin shot the unborn child of Mundus and also kills his wife, Lilith. And then Dante and Virgin proceeds to team up and kill the would-be father. So the whole thing about Devil May Cry is daddy issues. I mean, technically you could kind of count, even without the whole Agnes part. Because, maybe Sanctus could have been a father figure to Nero or something, but yeah. Yeah. That's why I like theories. I watched game theory a lot when I was younger. I don't as much anymore because after Matt retired, like, I'm not saying the other guys are bad, it's just that, I don't know. Ever since he left, the theories seem more outlandish. Even before he left, it was starting to become outlandish. Also, it still doesn't help that MatPat still helps with the writing process, so I guess it was just a natural evolution. Dante's like, no one can be a dad but me. I realized the Netflix series doesn't do that. Dante doesn't find a dad. In the original anime, that's actually part of the original timeline, Dante fights a corrupted priest, so technically he still fights a father. Because technically speaking, that's the role of the priest, and Sanctus is still a pope, so he's still technically a priest, so he is still a father. So Dante is about... Devil May Cry is about daddy issues. I mean, I'm not wrong either. Devil May Cry 3 is about him trying to, is Dante coming to terms that Sparta is his father? Like, he hated Sparta in the beginning of the story, but at the end of Devil May Cry 3, he started respecting Sparta. In Devil May Cry 1, it's clear that he respects Sparta. In Devil May Cry 1, Dante starts respecting Sparta. In Devil May Cry 2, there was one mention of Sparta, but Dante didn't really. I don't think Dante was there. It was Mathieu explaining to Lucina that Lucia, not Lucina. I'm thinking Fire Emblem. Explained to Lucia that Sparta trapped himself in the demon world but found a way back, which Dante did too. Uh-oh. No, no, no! Ugh. No! In Devil May Cry 4, it's still technically about Sparta's legacy because of the Order of the Sword. And when Lady asked Dante, do you know about Sparta? Dante was like, I heard of some things. So Dante still respects Sparta, but people are saying that because of that statement, Dante probably separates the legend of Sparta with his own father. Just imagine having a parent of yours. Like, I'm gonna use Queen Elizabeth from Britain as an example. When she died, one of the princes said there was no queen to us. For us, it was grandma. I think it's the same situation with Dante. That yeah, there was Sparta, the legend, and then there was Dad. You know. In the Netflix series, this is gonna sound weird. In the Netflix series, Dante did reject his demon side, but his mom kept telling him stories about the hero Sparta, and he always saw his dad as a superhero. So even though he did accept his demon heritage at first, he still saw Sparta as a superhero. Like, he's actually proud to be the son of Sparta because to him, Sparta's a superhero. Which is kind of weird. Like, maybe his hate for the demons comes from the fact that they attacked his childhood home and killed his mother. But he didn't hate Sparta. Yeah, the White Rabbit was nice. Whether or not he was... The thing is, the White Rabbit, he's practically his own original character at this point because he does appear in the novel, but the way the show handled him was different. Also, I like this little detail in the Netflix show because this detail was in the novels. How Dante can't use normal guns or else they break because he's too strong. We see that in the Netflix series. How he has to change guns constantly because he breaks the triggers. That's why he got Ebony and Ivory custom made. But the story behind Ebony and Ivory is like really sad. I don't know if the show gets a season 2, I feel like that's gonna happen. Because in the novels, Dante, not just Dante in the reboot, Dante also had a little bit of amnesia. Like, he remembers some basic stuff, but it's not like Dante from the reboot who's just forgot everything. When Dante was still going by Tony, not all of his memories were there. But after the whole incident with Ebony and Ivory, he got his full memories back as Dante and started going by Dante again. Like, I like that detail in the show. Like, even though people were like, "Oh, the director didn't." Yeah. I really like that detail because even before Ebony and Ivory, Nell Goldstein was still Dante's main supplier for guns. But you know what? I'm just gonna spoil it. because I don't even know if we're gonna get a second season for the Netflix show because of the whole split, the split fandom. In the novels, Nell was still working on Ebony and Ivory. Then Gulliver, you know, the evil clone of Virgil, which he was retconned to be a clone of Virgil. And originally he was supposed to be Virgil. Gulliver attacked Nell, and her shop was on fire. Even though she was about to die, she was still working on the parts for Ebony and Ivory. Then, after she finished the part, she didn't assemble the gun. While she lays dying, she told Dante to assemble the gun himself so he could make it his. All she did was make the parts, but Dante has to finish the gun himself. So people were like, oh, they retconned how in Devil May Cry 1 the game says Dante hadn't made his own gun. Technically yes, but technically no, because he still had to assemble the gun himself. So, yeah, Dante still saw Nell as his mother figure. So, after Dante finished, assembling Ebony and Ivory, in a burning building, mind you, Nell finally dies, because it's revealed that Nell actually got slashed by, Gulliver. She was just that's how badass she is, like, she's an old lady, like, really, really, really old, that Dante even made a comment about it. Like, she looks ancient. But even though she was injured and her workshop was on fire, she still finished building the parts for Ebony and Ivory. And after she died and Dante assembled Ebony and Ivory and the building stops burning, Dante decides to test out Ebony and Ivory on demons. Like, it's a really sad story. And even though the Netflix series did have its own take, I hope they adapt that part at least. Looks like they're setting up for it, because they mentioned the last name Goldstein and Dante destroying guns. So, I hope they actually go through with it, if we get a second season. Adoptive grandma, but yeah. We're gonna be here a while. Like, Nell is probably one of the best characters in the series. Like, seriously. Yeah, apparently they had the opportunity to completely retcon the Devil May Cry 1 novel. Like, and make only some parts canon, but they decided to make the entire thing canon. Because the people said the only contradiction that the novel had was Gulliver's personality. Because originally Gulliver was supposed to be Nilo Angelo without the armor. He was supposed to be Virgil. It's in the name, Gulliver. But then, if you read the novels, Gulliver's personality didn't match Virgil's personality. He was sadistic, he was using guns, he preferred using rocket launchers. So, they decided to retcon it by saying that Gulliver was a clone, created using Nilo Angelo's data, Sparta's data, and Dante's data. Which, you know, it's a good take, I guess. Like, it doesn't break the lore because we know why am I saying Mundus like the reboot and Netflix? Mundus has created demons, Trish, for example. Wanna make a bet that Cavalier Angelo in the Netflix series is gonna be... It's either gonna be still be Trish, or that it's gonna be Ava. That's true. And Devil May Cry 5 did acknowledge Gulliver because, I said this during a Fall Guys stream. Gulliver was known for wearing a green suit. And one of these alternative skins in Devil May Cry 5 is V wearing green outfit. Yeah, I kind of did. Like, I know I said earlier that I saw some of it. Yeah, I technically saw the whole thing. Like, I know the main stuff. This is why you stay off the internet, kids, when you want to watch something. Like, I'm still enjoying the Netflix series as its own entity. Like, if I turn my mind off and forget about the main timeline and the reboot, it's good on its own. But when you start comparing it to both, that's when you realize, yeah, it's not that good. So, even though the fandom's divided, like, if you don't enjoy this, you're not open-minded to changes in the Devil May Cry fandom, or if you like this, you're not a real Devil May Cry fan. I'm neutral. Like, I understand how it could be. I could understand how it could be enjoyable, but I could also understand why it sucks. Like, overall, I'm neutral. Like, I had a fun watching experience, but looking back at it, yeah, it's not the best. Also, people didn't like how Dante was easily ragdolled by Rudra and Agni. And people were also upset that I think Dante managed to kill Rudra, but Agni still remained, or was it the other way around? And then Dante was struggling because his double trigger ran out, and Lady managed to one-shot him. I mean, I understand people's complaints, because, you know... True. I mean... Yeah, that's basically it. In the original timeline, Dante hated Sparta because he's like, where was Sparta when our house was attacked? Right? He hated his demon side because it reminded him of his father, and also how demons killed... At the time, he thought demons killed his entire family, until at 18 years, Dante reunited with Virgil. But later on, Dante, during Devil May Cry 3, acknowledged that, hey, my dad was a good guy. He cared about humanity. He protected humans from demons. That's because, okay, this is where the people here who hasn't watched the series is probably gonna facepalm. The Netflix series decided to take a whole sci-fi approach. If I remember correctly, in the first episode, I probably need to rewatch it. The first episode, they went into detail about quantum mechanics, about traveling to other dimensions. Apparently, they said that humans and demons had a common ancestor, but humans stayed in the human realm and became humans, while the common ancestor species that ended up in the demon realm ended up being demons. So, at the end of the day, they're not demons, they're more like human cousins, human adjacent species. Or aliens, you could just say aliens because other dimension. Also, Netflix did a whole Dante VTuber thing. So, now this is where the part comes in. Where Dante Danchi's statement will come into play. The reason why Lady managed to kill those demons easily is because humans managed to develop an anti-demon drug that could instantly kill a demon. In the series, it's shown that they only have half effects on Dante. Like, they don't kill Dante, they only hurt him. Yeah. In the main timeline, we don't know what happens to Sparta. In the Netflix series, they said he disappeared. I'm pretty sure the main timeline says that too, but if you look at the wiki for some reason, they say deceased. Meanwhile, in the reboot timeline, Sparta, I kid you not, and, well, I don't need the kid because some of you guys were there when I was playing the reboot. Sparta is in a BDSM dungeon. Like, he's alive in the reboot, but he's in a BDSM dungeon. No! As for Dante's personality in the Netflix series, like, I don't mind it. Like, I understand why people are like, oh, this is not Dante, he's too silly and wacky. Well, that's true. I agree with that point. It is its own universe, so I don't really care about... Well, I kinda do care. Like, the reason why Dante is wacky and silly in the main timeline is because he's depressed. He doesn't want to show people that he's depressed, so he acts all silly and wacky. In the Netflix series, it's not implied that Dante is depressed, he's just having fun. Sparta's just buying some milk in the store, he will come back. Like, not to mention, Dante does see himself kind of like a superhero. Like, the Netflix series Dante is like a mixture of OG Dante and Dante. Like, I'm pretty sure in one of the reasons why Dante just... when they were looking at Dante's profiles and they were looking at his activities, when he was asked to give a statement, his statement was, got bored. Like, he's rebellious, just like Dante. But unlike Dante, who's like vandalism and protesting when he's rebellious, he decides to become wacky, like original Dante. So he's like a weird mixture of the two. If I don't lose any lives, it's gonna be a 3-hour stream. I like him being like, nah, I can't be a demon. I just have superpowers. I do like how, I do like how in the Netflix series they do like showing Dante spamming Trickster. Because that's my game style. Spamming Trickster. But people said it looks like they combined Trickster and Quicksilver. Because if you look at the diner scene, it does seem like Dante stopped time, but in reality he's just moving really, really fast. Now people are wondering if the Netflix series is gonna use Royal Guard. Because if you look at Dante's fighting style in the Netflix series, it's clear he's using Trickster, Swordmaster, and Gunslinger. Like, he didn't use Royal Guard. Or Doppelganger. Because some people are like, he technically used Quicksilver. Even though Doppelganger and Quicksilver aren't natural styles of his, he got them from demons. Yep. And the Strawberry Sundae. The only difference is that the Strawberry Sundae in this universe actually uses strawberry ice cream instead of vanilla ice cream. In DMC5, I think after you fight the V Familiars as Dante and you get S rank, you get an extra picture of DMC5 Dante eating a strawberry sundae. So even though some people are like, oh, the anime isn't canon, it is. Capcom have said the anime is canon. That Strawberry Sundae is in the game universe too. But it's still kind of weird how Dante loves hearing stories about Sparta. He like I said, he viewed Sparta as a great hero, a superhero of sorts. But in the same time, he hated demons because they attacked his family. I'm trying to reach a camera. I think the reason why I'm not losing my mind right now is because I'm talking about Devil May Cry. I feel like if I stop talking about Devil May Cry, I'm gonna lose my mind. No! I mean, he said it himself in Devil May Cry 3. I'm beginning to think I have terrible luck with women. Meanwhile, Dante, the reboot version, yeah, he's a womanizer. Probably, yeah. Also, apparently people found out, well, they didn't find out. I remember when he actually said this, when the director of the Netflix series one time he said he wants to make Virgil as an anti-hero and Mundus as a misunderstood villain. At first people thought he was joking, but it looks like he was serious. Also, people didn't like how Virgil seemed more like the Reddit version of Virgil. I remember his final quote, like, those sapiens don't know the storm they're running into. I am that storm. Also, yeah, it's kind of weird that the Netflix series also pronounces it as Mundus, like the reboot, and not Mundus, like the original timeline. Okay, maybe I should launch from that camera. I do like how their credit song was Devils Never Cry. Like, it was a lullaby version. Maybe he likes hearing stories about him, because it's his way of keeping him alive. Also, this one is kind of weird too. In the Netflix series, Dante and Virgil never met Sparta. In the original timeline, Sparta was around to at least train Virgil and Dante. In the reboot timeline, Dante and Virgil were practically protected by Sparta after Eva was killed. Like, Sparta gave both Dante and Virgin amnesia so he could protect them, but it didn't work out in the end because Virgin got his memories back and proceeded to do the same thing to Dante. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. This is the first version of Dante and Virgil who never met Sparta. Maybe that's one of the reasons why Virgil in the Netflix series, I should give him a different name. I am calling reboot Dante and Virgil Dante and Virgin because that's what the fandom calls them. Well, technically speaking, they call Dante El Dante, but I'm not gonna say that because So what name should we give Netflix Dante and Virgil, so we can differentiate them from the other versions of themselves? Velo Angelo, because in this timeline, Virgil is willingly Nilo Angelo. And Daniel? Donkey and Vonky. Maybe Sparta's got dementia because he's ancient. Maybe. Okay, Donkey kind of sounds good for Dante, so I was gonna call him Daniel, because that was one of the suggested names for Dante in the reboot, but people decided to just go with Dante, mostly because of how the voice actors pronounced his name, and also Dante is apparently is a reference to Dante only in name. So some people called him Donnie. But yeah, Dante. So I don't know, donkey? Does that sound rude? Or maybe I should just call him Don. Like, you guys know the Spanish story Don Quixote, where he believed he was a knight? This Dante believes he's a superhero, so maybe Don. Like, I'm taking inspiration from your suggested name of Donkey to just call him Don. Like Don Quixote. As for Virgil, what should we call Netflix Virgil? Wonky doesn't make sense. I think the reason why people call Reboot Virgil Virgin, besides, being an insult, is because he wears a fedora. Even though in the definitive edition they removed that fedora. Virgil Angelo? I mean, isn't that what happened to Captain America for 70 years? Okay, I'm trying to get to that camera. Like, I feel like we should do some Virgil Angelo. No, that's too long. Virgilo? Vangel? It's like I said, in this timeline he's willingly Nilo Angelo. Like, Nilo Angelo is literally his double trigger. And it looks like Mundus, because also like I said, like the reboot, they call him Mundus for some reason. Then, because here's the thing, Mundus apparently comes from the Latin Latin word for world, also Spanish word for world, mundo, so mundus. Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna call him Virgilo. Because I know there's an Italian version of Virgil that's Virgello, so it's like Virgilo. Actually, I could call him Virgello, because he's okay. Don and Virgilo are the Netflix version. Nilo Ranger. But yeah, it looks like Virgello was raised by Mundus. Because if the attack happened when they were kids, then who else would raise him, Not Sparta. Virgello. You know what? Yeah, we'll call him... Yeah, Virgello. Yeah, Virgello. He did say Mundus freed him from his bondage. So that means maybe Virgello was captured by other demons, and Mundus was like, hey, I know this kid. Hey, this kid's the son of Sparta. He could be of use to me. I'll raise him as my own kid. Oh, wow. Maybe we are going back to daddy issues. Because if Mundus did raise Virgello, and Dawn has to fight him, he's fighting his brother's adopted father. Uh-oh. And also, yeah, it's obvious they're gonna set up late. Maybe it was sitting in some demon circus and got bought by Mundus. Maybe. Actually, in the Netflix series, Lady just like rejects the name Lady. Like the original timeline, she didn't really care about Dante calling her Lady. In the Netflix series, Dawn calls her Lady and she doesn't take it. She wants to be called Mary. So to differentiate between the Netflix version and the game version, we're gonna call her Mary. Yeah, they're setting up that we're gonna fight Arkham. Also, Arius also appeared. Also, you know how I said I really like Lucia as a character? I was happy that she came back in the Netflix series. So Arkham just burnt. So Arkham just burnt, no strings attached. I guess. Like, we don't really have his character yet. And also, he barely appeared, so I'm not gonna give him a nickname like Lucia and Arius in the Netflix version, because we're barely gonna talk about them. Darn it. Like, I'm being careful here. I don't want to restart this. Lost getting over it stream was the furthest we've ever gotten. But some people are saying Virgello's probably playing the long con. Like, right now he's loyal. He's loyal to Mundus with the intention of betraying him. Dawn, I fight for humans, gets betrayed by humans. Orange hell is a point of reason. Should we do that? Dante fights for humans, gets betrayed by humans. Virgello fights for demons, and the demons actually look pretty thankful. Both in the original timeline and the reboot, both versions of Virgil, so Virgil and Virgin, do become demon lords. By eating the Clyfoth fruit, unless you want to say that Virgil becomes half Demon King because only half of Virgil ate the fruit. The full Virgil didn't eat the fruit. It was only half of Virgil, so maybe he's only half Demon Lord in the main timeline. But in the reboot, Virgin does become a Demon Lord. So, who knows, maybe Virgello will become Demon Lord. Maybe he'll overthrow Mundus. Can I reach that? But yeah, I am curious to see where this is gonna go. I'm just waiting for humans to meet demons, no so-called civilians. Yeah. If they try to adapt the Clyfoth arc, that's gonna be really weird because now demons actually have emotions and personalities. Yes, that's gonna be really, really, really weird. Okay, what am I gonna do here? Also, I wonder how, Vergello can probably wipe out all demon. Yeah. Yeah, he probably could. Like, did you see what he did in that, prison? Like, he judgment cut. No. Oh, they merged, so technically he still got his powers minus the Demon King title. True. So yeah, but technically because half of him was still Demon King, he was Demon King for some time. So yeah, maybe it's a canon event that Virgil, or at least half of Virgil, becomes Demon King. I also like the theory that Dante becomes very joyful towards in Devil May Cry 4 when he found out that he still has family. Because here's the thing, some people are like, why is Vergello working for Mundus if Mundus killed his family? Right now, we don't actually know if Mundus was the one who ordered the hit on Sparta's family. Like, in Devil May Cry 1, Dante was semi-serious, but he still cracked jokes. He still cracked jokes in Devil May Cry 1. It's still weird that originally 2 was supposed to come after 4, but after the anime came out, they were like, yeah, no. Actually, I'm pretty sure the anime came out before the anime came out before 4. But in the art books, they didn't acknowledge the anime as being part of the official timeline. But after the because the anime closed the gap between 1 and 2. Like, why Dante's personality was so different in 1 and 2. Like, in 1, he was depressed. He was depressed, but he was still having fun. Imagine Dante finding excuses to... That's wholesome. Like, in 1, Dante was still cracking jokes. Because, you know, he was in that mentality, like, oh, I have to hide my depression, because, you know, I'm Dante. Hello. But in 2, Dante was very, 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 very reserved and quiet. Like, he did crack some jokes, like the coin toss. Like, oh, let's see, heads or tails. Oh, it's heads. Then is like a reveal that both sides of the coin were heads. Not to mention that badass line that he said to Arius when Arius was like, I was gonna be king of this world. And then Dante was like, king? Here's your crown. But yeah, the anime explained why he was depressed after 1. Like, he didn't bother hiding his depression. Was because everyone left him. Yeah, in 1, he noticed that he killed his own brother. But then he's like, okay, maybe it'll be fine because I have Trish with me, someone who looks like my mother, who I can treat as my family. But during in between 1 and the anime, Trish was like, I'm gonna be my own independent devil hunter, so you work by yourself, Dante. So Dante was like, oh, okay, I'm alone again. Then all of a sudden he got Patty, and his ward, aka, foster daughter. Dante became a foster father. He's like, okay, this will be fun. I have my own daughter. Then she's like, oh, my mom's back, so I'm gonna live with her. And Dante's like, cool. I'm so lonely. Anything in 2 was when that loneliness really hit him. Because at the end of the anime, when everyone left... at the end of the anime, when everyone left, the final scene was Dante in his office drinking by himself. So you could see his mentality like, oh, I'm alone, there's no one here for me. And that's why in Devil May Cry 2, he didn't mind the possibility of getting trapped in the underworld forever. And then the novels explain that he found a shard of the Yamato and it opened. Yeah. Also, in the anime, Trish also complained about Dante's eating habits, and Dante was like, you're not my mom. But even though Dante was depressed in Devil May Cry 2, like, he didn't bother hiding it, there was still a joyful part of him where he was like, oh, I'm still gonna make some jokes, but I'm not gonna joke too much. And then in Devil May Cry 4, which takes place after Devil May Cry 2, Trish was like, yeah, I'm gonna do some work with you for a while, but in 5, it still shows that Trish is still an independent devil hunter. I'm gonna do some work for you, but it's just a partnership. So Dante wasn't as depressed, but in the beginning of Devil May Cry 2, Dante was silent. Like, people were like, he was still in his, I have work to do mode when he killed Sanctus. So he was still, oh, there's a job I need to do. I need to be serious. But then he saw Nero. He was like, could this kid be related to me? They show Arius, if don't crown him, I will be upset too. Because that was a really cool line. So, yeah. I mean, in a sense, you could kind of see that too with Dante in the reboot.
Oh.
No. Okay. I'll just swing in. Then the rest of Devil May Cry 4, when Dante found out that, oh, there's this kid that could be possibly related to me, he was acting all joyful. And then when that kid awakened the Yamato, which revealed that, yeah, this kid has Sparta's blood, specifically Virgil's blood, Dante was very energetic and he was a lot more playful. He's like, I have family again! I am happy! But at the same time, he had that mentality like, I need to protect him. I don't want to lose him. That's why in Devil May Cry 5, he called Nero deadweight, knowing that it's gonna upset Nero, and Nero would hoping that Nero will stay away, but no, it did the opposite effect. Nero was like, this Because Nero also had suspicions about Dante. Like in the novel, they reveal that Nero actually had a thought that there's a possibility to him that Dante can be his dad. So that deadweight comment actually hurt him a lot more. Like, hey, my dad called me deadweight. How am I supposed to take this? But in the end, apparently Nero just dismissed it. It's like, yeah, Dante could be my dad, but that's not it. He's someone I want to prove myself to. Like, Dante is like a mentor to me. Even V had that thought, like, well, not V, like, Griffin. He was like, hey V, this kid could either be Dante or Virgil's child. And V is like, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that he has Sparta's blood. Uh-oh. Nero's like, I'm gonna do my own. Also, it's kind of wholesome. Not smart, but wholesome. That, when the Order of the Sword lost their influence, Nero decided to start his own demon hunting business. When Dante heard about this, he commissioned a neon sign for his nephew. Like, hey kid, I heard you're gonna start your own demon hunting business. Here, call it Devil May Cry, like dear old uncle. And Dante be like, Nero, you are not leaving me. Take this DMC sign. Yeah. Like, even though he's in debt, Dante was like, I'm still gonna spend money on my nephew. Like, that's wholesome. But here's the thing. Dante and Virgil are identical twins, right? And yes, I know they look different in 5, but that's normal. Over time, identical twins will start looking different from each other because of their environment. But genetically, they're the same person. Twins are nature's clones. Well, identical twins. Fraternal twins, not so much. There are also semi-identical twins. I could get into that if you guys want me to, because I'm kind of a science nerd. Identical twins have the same DNA, so technically speaking, Nero wasn't wrong. Genetically, Dante is his dad. So, yeah, Nero wasn't wrong. Also, I realized in 5, Nero started to take more notes from Dante. Because Nero was a lot more quippy in 5 compared to 4. Then again, in 4, the love of his life was kidnapped. Well, half of his campaign, the love of his life was kidnapped. The other half was him trying to chase after Dante. So, yeah. Nero was like, I have a mission to do. Then all of a sudden, I have to save my girlfriend, who's, not to be creepy, my adopted sister too. Then in 5, he started becoming more and more quippy like Dante. So it was clear he was taking notes from Dante. I like to think, even though in 5, like, yeah, Virgil's my father, I want to save him, he probably still prefers Dante over Virgil. Then again, if I remember correctly, doesn't 5 canonically take like 5 years after 4? Yeah. Well, I feel like it's reverse. It's like, kind of father figure, but idol. Okay. We've been here for like an hour. But I don't mind. I'm not going insane because I have Devil May Cry in my mind. Also, this is just a theory. A development theory. Apparently, the developers wanted to evaster Virgil while he... Yeah, I saw the gameplay. I couldn't do it myself, but yeah. Apparently, Capcom wanted Nero and Devil May Cry 5 to resemble a little bit of Dante. That's why he swears a lot. Like, they tried to combine Dante's personality with DMC4 Nero's personality. Nero was an abandoned child, so him being kind of rejected by his father figure is a great hit. Yeah. And that's why it was also a hit to him when he found out that Virgil, the man who stole his arm, was his own dad. But a common fan theory is that deep down, Nero wanted Dante to be his dad. Everyone thought it was the reboot at first because Nero also got a haircut, but all of a sudden he started using Red Queen. And they're like, oh, it's Nero! Yeah, the haircut didn't help. Can we... Okay, this is far from the tree. Can we say I lost a life so that I'm up to 5 lives? Expensive, but I'm willing to get it. Like, yeah. That's why I made a complaint on Twitter about how, please spare my wallet. I want to get a PC. I'm getting a new PC. Around, I spoke with my IT brother. He says the best time to get a PC is July because there's a cyber sale. His emo phase is over. Yeah. There's a cyber sale on every July. So IT brother told me to get my computer on July. So I'm spending money on that. Then family vacation. Then yeah, the Switch 2. Like I probably won't get it the first year. I'll probably get it like a year or two later because depending on how well I want to be able to get it within the first year, but I'm unemployed. I'm living off government support. So, not to mention I just graduated university, so once I get a job, my university is gonna go into my bank account and start collecting money. So, yeah, it's gonna be a while. Not to mention, when Nier Replicant comes on sale, I'm gonna get that. And next month, I'm gonna get Necopara after. So... yeah, I'm gonna need to be wise with my money. Looks like I really can't graduate yet from VTubing. Like, thanks to mostly Relax, VTubing is paying me a little bit. Like, even though it's not much, it's enough. And I'm not gonna ask you guys for money. Like, I became a VTuber not because of money. I became a VTuber because I wanted to entertain people. Getting paid is just a side thing, you know? Man, I feel like Dante now. If I get a new PC and I get the Switch too, I mean, I can still benefit even if I graduate. Like, I can still play games in my own time. But where's the fun in that? Oh yeah, food! I forgot about food. The funny thing is, in my family, we have responsibilities. Government support is not too little. So I do pay bills in my family, in my house. I pay water, electricity, Wi-Fi. I'm also in charge of food and groceries. So yeah. Thanks for reminding me. This is why I hope to become a corpo VTuber one day. Preferably a corpo VTuber who gets to keep their past identity, but that's kind of rare. Not to mention a lot of corpos. There's been a lot of pop-up corpos nowadays that disappear after a few months to a year. And getting to one of the big corpos is gonna be a tall order. I'm not even 500 subscribers yet, so what chance do I think I have? So, like, I've been applying for jobs, but I keep getting rejected. My IT brother thinks it's probably because my resume is, my resume could be outdated. Like, I've been updating it with every experience I get, but according to him, my layout could be outdated, and he's willing to fix it for me. But here's the thing, if I get a proper job, I might not stream as much. I mean, I already said I wasn't gonna stream as much because of health. And also, I want to go back into writing. But getting an actual job might, you know, really affect that, really slow me down. Cool streamer, pro gamer, please give me a job. I mean, I just graduated from university, so... But it doesn't matter, because after I found out I graduated, they gave me a digital copy of my certificate. So like, hey, if you're gonna apply for a job soon, you don't have to wait for graduation. Show them this. The good thing about Australia is that this is not politics. This is more like a life update stream, I guess. This is not about politics. This is just the thing I like about Australia is that our tax is based on income. So if you're earning minimum income, you don't have to pay taxes. But I'm not gonna go into detail because politics. Like for the people who decide to support my Ko-fi, I'm not gonna judge you. I did set it up because people were like, "Oh, we want to support you, so can you open up a Ko-fi?" I'm like, "Fine, here, have it." It took me 3 years to finally give in. Like, if you could find the Ko-fi link, good on you. I'm not gonna force you to... Hello, child. Yeah, apparently there's a shortcut here. Should I risk it? I mean, I still have 5 lives. Okay, Jaws. How am I gonna do this? I don't think I can... Yeah, I don't think I can do that. I realize I only play this game like twice a year, so this might be the last time this year I'm gonna play this game. Oh.
No.
But if I'm somehow earning minimum wage through Ko-fi, even though Ko-fi only pays me like once a month, I actually have to tell the government that I'm earning minimum wage. No, I tried, but I realized I couldn't do it. But right now, I'm not earning enough to call it minimum wage, so the government is like, we don't want your money. You're earning too little. You need it for yourself. Like, thank you. No, wrong way! But the government did tell me that if I am earning minimum wage by streaming, I will count as an independent worker or a freelance worker. So yeah. And they'll put me under as such. Man, I need my own Morrison. I mean, technically, if I start earning minimum wage through streaming, I'm technically my own agency. So I can if that ever happens, I can get that Morrison quote from Devil May Cry 5 where he said to Dante, "You're a real agency now." Do we count this? Do we count this as a lost life? Oh yeah, I just remembered. I also want to get back into drawing. Okay then. I'm still at 5 lives. I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, I just remembered. I want to get back into drawing. Because I remember I used to do art streams where I was learning how to draw. But my brother, my IT brother, wanted to get back into drawing too, so he took the drawing tablet, because it was originally his. So now I'm thinking about getting another cheap drawing tablet, so that's another blow to the budget. Darn it. At this point, I might just be living on water. It's also probably because I'm not focusing on the stream. I'm talking about Devil May Cry. Also, like other Nier fans, I am hoping that Nier Reincarnation comes out with an offline version. Because it's still an official game, even though it was mobile. Like, it's a mainline game. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. And there was a lot of lore dumps in Nier Reincarnation. Like, apparently in Nier Reincarnation, you learn about an android from Yorha that was actually stationed at the moon base. But even she didn't know the truth. Like, I don't know the full detail because I didn't want to spoil myself, but yeah. Like, we made so much progress last getting over it stream, and then I fell off the cliff. I fell off a cliff. Not using hands is hard. Hearts is harder. True. If I were to guess, her job was to protect the human servers, but I'm pretty sure the pods are like, oh no, there's totally humans here. Because every android has their own pod. Okay, I accidentally hit my lamp. Okay, that's not a reset because I didn't touch the ground. Speaking of Nier, the reason why I'm covering that song... Okay, we're up to 4 lives. The reason why I'm covering that song, The Weight of the World, is because it's been... Nier has been in my mind for the last few weeks. Like, it's really made me think about life, I guess. Like, the approaches of... I didn't do it on purpose, I thought the ground was further, so I thought I could launch. I don't exactly have the best memory. I have a habit of forgetting things. Darn it. Uh-oh. Okay. I thought I was gonna lose a life there. But I remember some people were saying, because Nier Reincarnation was a mobile game, it could totally work as a Switch game. But I heard about fans reviving Nier Reincarnation. But apparently they need to get permission from Square Enix and Yoko Taro. But apparently they tried contacting them, but apparently they're busy right now. I mean, Square Enix is always gonna be busy. That's another life gone. I'm up to 3 lives. We're still close, so if I fall to the ground now, it doesn't matter. Also, the Switch 2 is gonna have backwards compatibility, so I don't have to worry about my Switch games right now. Also, apparently, CD Projekt Red, the Cyberpunk 2077 Twitter account said, you should be able, if you have one copy of the game, you should be able to play it at any console you have. Or unless I misread that. But apparently, I think it was last year or the year before, CD Projekt Red did say they wanted to make Cyberpunk compatible with the Nintendo Switch, but I'm pretty sure they heard the announcement. I'm pretty sure Nintendo gave out the announcement for the Switch 2 beforehand. So they're like, okay, we're not gonna focus on Nintendo Switch compatibility now. We're gonna focus on the Switch 2 instead. Apparently, in terms of power, the Switch 2 is comparable to the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox Series S. So, if you think about it, the Switch 2 will have enough power to run Devil May Cry 5. I want to try out Hollow Knight. I've never played a Metroidvania game before. So maybe Hollow Knight could be my first. That sounds weird out of context. Yeah, I'm just going into tangents this stream. Like, I'm not even focusing on what's going on right now. Because I heard good things about Hollow Knight. But then again, the regular Nintendo Switch was comparable to the PS3 and Xbox 360, and we didn't get Devil May Cry 4 or the reboot on the Nintendo Switch. Instead, we just got the classic games on Nintendo Switch. No! Okay. Two lives. Oh yeah, do you guys want an update on my cat? My kitty cat? The baby. The little baby. The cutie pie. He's so tiny. He's so cute. He is growing up though, but he's cute. Because I feel like I might go into an hour-long tangent about my cat. Probably not an hour. Probably like a good 5 minutes about my cat. Yeah. He's growing up, and apparently in cat years, he's a teenager. So he's starting to become rebellious. And he's very spoiled. Like, he would cry if no one's playing with him. He wants attention to be on him 24/7. It's not only towards the non-pets of the house. Oh yeah, he's starting to act like my dogs. Like, okay, going back to what I said, when he wants attention from everyone, that includes my dogs. Like, he would annoy my dog until they give him attention. Like, he would annoy both my dogs if he wants attention. Like, if he couldn't find someone in the house but he finds the dogs, he'll want their attention. But yeah, going back to what you said, he is starting to act like a dog. Like, he sometimes takes my dog's food. Actually, one of my dogs would willingly give him food because of maternal instincts, right? But like my other dog, Oreo, the one who got doxxed, when Oreo has food, he starts growling at you because he thinks you're gonna take the food off him. The cat is starting to do that. And the thing is, because he's so tiny and he's still a baby, the other dog the older twin of Oreo, decides, okay, you're being naughty, so I'm gonna take your food from you and I'm gonna eat it. And then he gets mad. But yeah, he's growling like a dog. And when he's running around very energetically, he starts sticking his tongue out like a dog. So to the older twin, because remember, Oreo is a twin, right? The older twin dog is like very caring towards him, towards the kitten. But at the same time, when she wants to discipline him, she doesn't bite him. She slaps him. And because she weighs a lot more than the cat, he gets easily pinned down. So yeah, he's becoming a dog. He's being raised by dogs. But he's so cute. He keeps asking for attention. He's his baby. Pretty much, yeah. But there was this one time, because even though he's a teenager, he still has kitten instincts, but he has adult teeth, right? He tried to latch on to the older dog to drink milk, but then he bit, and he has adult teeth, so my dog panicked and threw him. But at least now they're getting along. Because back when the kitten was really a kitten, like really, 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 really tiny, we couldn't really leave him alone with that older twin dog. Oreo was fine because Oreo is Oreo. He's kind of dumb. So when he saw the kitten, he would run away because he was kind of scared of the kitten. But the older dog would think it's a puppy and try to bite him, but she doesn't realize that kitten skin isn't as strong as puppy skin. So she was actually hurting him, even though she just wanted to care for him. But now that he's a little older and his skin is tougher, and we also told my dog no biting, when we told my dog no biting, she doesn't bite, but instead she slaps. when the cat needs disciplining, I shouldn't really be calling him kitten anymore. Should I still be calling him kitten? He's not even a year old yet. He's like a teenager in cat years. You know what? I'm gonna go flip-floppy. I'm gonna switch between cat and kitten. When the kitten needs disciplining, she just slaps him. Like I said, because she's a lot heavier and she's a lot more powerful, she ends up throwing him. But at least the kitten is growing up smart, like the older twin dog. The one who wasn't doxed. Oreo, I'm just gonna outright say this, he's dumb. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. However, even if he's dumb, he's smart in the wrong ways. He's manipulative. He acts cute when he wants something. And when we have guests in the house, he purposely lies down, puts his head on his paws, and makes his eyes bigger, acting all cute so the guests would pick him up. So he's smart in the wrong ways. In fact, you could kind of see some of that manipulation at play when I'm streaming and I have my door closed. He's knocking on my door and he's crying. Now that I think about it, that's probably why the cat picked up that habit where if no one's paying attention to him, he starts crying. Oreo's a bad influence to the cat. The cat is picking up both my dog's habits. But at least he's picking up the smarter dog's intelligence. But he's also picking up Oreo's manipulation. So I don't know, chat. I still remember Markiplier quit getting over it because he couldn't finish. He couldn't get past certain, I think, this part of the game. I mean, like Morrowind, I know I'm not gonna finish. I probably won't be finishing this game anytime soon, so I only play it occasionally. He's a hunter. Cute. This is just a bait. True. You're not wrong. And where to pray. Like, both when Oreo and the cat want something, they start acting oh cute. Pretty sure when I watch Markiplier play this part, he starts raging. I feel like the reason why I'm maintaining my calm right now is because I'm going to tangents. If I was just left with my own mind, I'd probably be going insane. Last stream is an example. I was thinking if I should cover Devil Trigger. But I don't know. There is a cover I'm also working with Ragnar, but Ragnar has been busy with school lately, so I'm not bothering about it. I'm like, record when you can record, then I'll record my parts, then I'll post it online. Yeah. I'm thinking if I should stream tomorrow if I have the energy. Like, I want to get back into Stardew, but in the same time, I also kind of want to check back with Elden Ring. Also, I also have like $200 in Steam gift cards. Like, I could easily get Mirror Replicant, but because I want to save money, even if I have a lot of Steam credits, I want to be able to get it while on sale. Like, the only time I'm more willing to spend money if it's like $20 or less. And Neko Power tends to be around that range, so I don't really mind. Yeah. So, that means I won't be playing Elden Ring until July. Because originally, I wanted to get my PC upgrade around now, April. But then IT Brothers like, in July they tend to have cyber sales. So wait until July. Meaning I really will be streaming a lot less. Unless I get more Switch games. Because Switch games are independent from... Switch games are independent from my PC.
No.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that one time when I was like 2 hits away from killing the tree sentinel? But then my PC froze, and then when it got back, the tree sentinel killed me almost instantly. And you guys were saying that your PC knows. And apparently, according to Ragnar, I wasn't even supposed to be fighting the tree sentinel at that level, but I got so close. But my PC was like, yeah, no, you're not gonna kill the tree sentinel. Once I get my PC upgrade, I'm gonna briefly go back to Cyberpunk to see how it runs. And also, Ragnar gave me a gift back in 2023. And I was supposed to stream it, but my computer didn't let me stream it. I could play it on my own, but I can't stream it. And Ragnar wants me to stream it. So since then, I haven't touched that game until I can get a PC upgrade. I'm not a pro gamer. According to some of my friends, it's that I have tenacity. Like, I'm very determined. If I want something, I will keep trying and trying until I get it. But at the same time, I know my limits, right? Like, Albert Einstein said, insanity is when trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different results. I'm guessing tenacity is when you're trying something with different approaches. Like, I've experimented with different fighting styles while fighting the tree sentinel. And then when I found a style that works, I decided to stick with that style. But if I was like, you know, running in mindless, fighting the tree sentinel with the same tactic, then yeah, I'm insane. Like, in Devil May Cry 3, when I streamed it, I was experimenting with different styles. First, I tried my go-to style, Agni and Rudra with Trickster. And I realized the best tactic was to switch between the Rebellion and Beowulf, then use Trickster. Yep. Not to mention, I managed to defeat Virgil's downfall while I had the flu.
No.
Not to mention, I really got mad at Virgil's downfall because I was trying to play it like the game intended, but I realized spamming Angel mode in that final boss, I managed to beat the boss in like 10 minutes. But overall, it took me like almost an hour because I was playing it like the game intended, like switching between Angel and Demon mode. Nah, I know there's a shortcut there. Says me, who kinda gets stuck at Last Boss DLC because my controller have button stick. Yeah. I mean, if you guys want, I can replay Breath of the Wild. Like, I've never streamed Breath of the Wild, but I have Breath of the Wild on my Nintendo Switch. So, maybe if we're waiting for my PC upgrade, I could whip out some old Switch games that I played before I became a streamer. Also, it kind of sucks because I'm part of Twilight Princess was my first Zelda game, right? On the Wii. And I've been waiting for Twilight Princess to come over to the Switch, whether it's Nintendo Switch Online. I don't mind getting a membership if I could play Twilight Princess or a proper HD remake. But no Twilight Princess. I mean, there's Wind Waker on Nintendo Switch Online, so like people are like, just get an emulator, but Papa Nintendo's gonna come beating me down. And I'm a tiny baby VTuber who's still trying to, well, I can't say baby anymore, I've been doing this for 3 years and a half. I'm a tiny VTuber, and I can't have a massive company just kill me before I could even make it somewhat big. Not say I'm gonna make it big, but, you know, recognizable at least.
No.
He hit his head. But yeah, I'll think about streaming Breath of the Wild. Like, apparently Nintendo have actually said they're friendly when you stream their game legally. Like, they'll support you as a streamer if you stream their game legally. Like, they could even give you sponsorships and stream protection. But if you emulate their games, yeah, they're not gonna. They're really gonna come after you. Like, I know some indie streamers who play Pokemon fan games through ROMs, but they're independent, and most of the time they say they don't want Nintendo's protection. They're also the same people who plays modded Breath of the Wild. They don't actually mod their console, they get an emulator and run the mod through the emulator. But, like I said, I can't risk that. Thanks to Heba and my family, I don't think I'll be graduating anytime soon. But I will be slowing down. Mother! We have 2 lives left. I have a counter on my phone of my lives. I do want to run like a tabletop game with my friends, but I won't stream it because conflicting times. So instead, I'm gonna run a campaign or a chronicle if I run a World of Darkness game. I have 1 life left. I played FNAF. I might play a horror game for Halloween if you guys want me to. If there's any good horror games on sale. I mean, I did say I was gonna... That doesn't count. I have 1 life left. I did say I was gonna play Me-Side. So... yeah. Maybe. But yeah, I'll try stream tomorrow. If this isn't a full stream, I'll try stream tomorrow. No promises though. Keyword try. That doesn't count. If I die here, it doesn't count. I think the reason why I made it last time is because I was singing Devil Trigger. I haven't really done vocal warm-ups, so should I sing Devil Trigger? No! It's like the floor is lava. I know Bennett Foddy made another game. I didn't do it on purpose! It happened on its own. Okay then. I'll be quiet. I'll just make noises when I'm struggling. To wait and see this. See how long I'll last. Oh, if you're wondering, wait. I said I was gonna be quiet. Darn it. Okay, Jaws, you can do this. Nice and easy. Yep. Nope. Okay. Let's do this. Let's just do this. I am between a rock and hard place. Yep. 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 Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay. One big push. 3, 2, 1. Push! Mother! Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, I'm slipping. I'm slipping. I'm slipping. Why is it slippery? Why are you slippery? You're a rock. You're supposed to be hard. Okay. Even rocks can be slippery. Never mind. Okay. Oh boy. My wrist hurts. Okay, okay, okay. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Good boy. Bad boy. Bad boy. Very naughty. Very naughty. Let me in, 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 let me in. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Let me in, I'm a fairy. Don't you believe in fairies? Okay. I need to use this to launch. I'm stuck. Oh. 3, 2, 1, go! Mother! Okay. Okay. I think I did this part better with tangents. Can I get my tangents back? Then again, tangents happen naturally, so I can't force it. You raise me up. Okay, 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 okay. I should fix. I should fix. I should fix. I should fix. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Ooh, that was a risk. But now I'm at a tip. Oh boy. Mother! You know, when you take away the things in life, you realize how horrible things are. When you take away the fun things in life, like my tangents, like me telling about random subjects, you realize how horrible this is.
Oh no.
Oh boy. That's not letting me rage. Just little tiny. I don't want it too big, just a little, gently. Gentle. Okay, now I can touch the tip. Yeah, I can reach the tip. Just the tip. There we go. I'm pretty sure I can take a shortcut from there. Okay, just a little, just through the gap. Good boy. Good boy, buff guy. Yep. Okay. Am I stuck? No, I'm not. Okay. Yeah. I think if I launch myself, I can make it. Okay, let's do this the old way. I can't go big or go home, or else I will literally go home. As I was saying... Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Don't fall. Wrong way! Wrong way! Wrong way. Okay. I have 1 life left. Okay, I think I did better when I was tangents. But, yeah, I'm gonna go back into... Oh yeah, that's right. If you're wondering why I haven't been streaming Neptunia lately, it's because, every time I stream Neptunia, there always seems to be a tech issue. Either the screen is flipped, or the game crashes before I can even start. Like, even though we had a tech issue right today, that's the first time it happened to getting over it. Right? But Neptunia always has tech issues. Maybe I'll come back to Neptunia once I get my new PC. Because I know we're up to the final boss and I'm just grinding right now. I'm trying to launch myself on that big rock. Boop. The darkness of nightfall surrounds my soul, and the hunter within loses control. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. Gotta let it out, gotta let it out. This demon inside has a hold of me, clutching its power. Wait, is this? Wait, this might actually be a full stream. My wrist really hurts. No! No. 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 I don't think we're getting back to that cliff anytime soon. Especially since I don't really play this game that often. Like, I don't really get stuck there that long anymore. It's like I adapt over time. If I go too fast... Oh yeah, what are your opinions on the Power Glove cover, the Power Glove remixes of Devils Never Cry, Devil Trigger, and Bury the Light? The Power Glove remixes are the versions they use in the Netflix series. So yeah, what are your thoughts on it? No! I am the star. Okay, that's it. It's just there. I heard people praising the Devils Never Cry version. Even though it's not the full song, it's only the gentle voice. People says it feels like a lullaby, like something Eva would sing to Dante and Virgil. Well, in this case, Dawn and Virgello. Oh yeah, Afterlife is really good. People were disappointed that they didn't get Linkin Park into the soundtrack. Because they were getting all these early 2000s rock and metal bands, but they didn't get Linkin Park. Hopefully... Oh, I almost died there. Hopefully if they get season 2, they do bring Linkin Park. I know Chester Bennington's gone and they have a new singer. I think her name's Emily something. It's still Linkin Park. And if they decide to use an AI version of Chester Bennington's voice, I will condone them. I already told you guys my overall thoughts of the Devil May Cry Netflix series is that I'm neutral towards it.
No.
Like, there are parts I like and there are parts I didn't like. But, would I recommend it? I will say, just like what I said in the Devil May Cry reboot, it's up to you. I'm not gonna tell you to boycott it, I'm not gonna tell you to watch it. It's up to you if you wanna watch it. The only thing I ever told you guys to boycott is the new season of The Witcher. It's because one, the director and writer never never cared about the original work. All they cared about was making their own version of the Game of Thrones. That it took originally they didn't have the original author on board until fans complained. Second, Henry Cavill is a big Witcher fan. So the reason why there was a lot of references in the first two seasons is because he pitched them. But now, the director hates that. So they fired him, and they started making excuses like, oh, Henry Cavill is hard to work with, he's misogynist. But if you ask his fellow his co-stars, the co-stars are like, no, Henry was really nice. He was really nerdy and gave us facts about The Witcher. So the directors and the writers of the show are creating bullshit. Sorry if I swore, but I'm really mad. So yeah, boycott the new season. That's all I'm gonna say. Boycott the new season. I know I'm a tiny VTuber, but almost 420 subscribers is enough. Boycott The Witcher. They don't care about the original work. Instead, they want to make their own Game of Thrones, and they kicked out the only person who actually knew and cared about the project. But the thing is, Henry did kind of make the other co-stars kind of interested in The Witcher, so at least he has some legacy. Sorry if I got passionate there. In fact, if you have to watch between... Like, it's kind of obvious what my answer is. If I say watch between the Devil May Cry Netflix series and The Witcher, watch Devil May Cry. Because my recommendation for that is, it's up to you if you want to watch it. I'm not recommending it, but at the same time, I'm not condoning it. Speaking of Witcher, I should play The Witcher 3 again. Because I put that on break. It's a Switch game. Like, I have The Witcher 3 on the Switch, so yeah. While I'm waiting for my new PC, that could be one of the games I'm playing. Yep. Like, at least acknowledge the source material. And, this is why I was kind of mad at Ninja Theory until I got the full context. Because originally, if you look at the concept... I told you guys this before in the past. If you look at the concept art for the Devil May Cry reboot, they did want to make Dante look exactly like the original Dante, but Capcom said to make him look different. And that's why the designer was like, okay, I'm gonna design him to look like me. And then Ninja Theory had the whole gay cowboy allegations. But in reality, if you get the context, because apparently they actually interviewed one of the Ninja Theory members who were in that meeting, they just had examples of cowboys. Dante isn't a cowboy, but the example they had was Brokeback Mountain, which, you know, was a gay cowboy, so people were like, oh, Ninja Theory's calling original Dante a gay cowboy. In reality, they're saying, don't make him a cowboy, because Devil May Cry 4 Dante's design looked kind of cowboyish. So yeah, if you get the context, Ninja Theory never called original Dante a gay cowboy. And that's why Ninja Theory still put Devil May Cry 1 Dante and Devil May Cry 3 Dante costumes into their game, because they weren't mocking the original source material. I mean, they kind of did when they said, when the wig fell on Dante's hair and he said never in a million years. But apparently that's a double reference. Like, they wanted it to be like a reference to the original Devil May Cry, but also supposed to be foreshadowing how Dante gets white hair later on the game. He says never in a million years, but a few days later he gets white hair. Yeah, that too. So to some degree, Ninja Theory at least didn't, you know, mock. They still mocked the original Devil May Cry, but they didn't mock it too much. Like, they still know the roots of Devil May Cry, which is, you know, the Divine Comedy. Okay. Have fun. I mean, depending if I screw up, I might end stream soon too. Uh-oh. Oops. No, 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 no. Okay. No! Okay. Okay. I tried to fix myself, but... No! Don't screw this up, Jaws. Don't screw this up. Don't screw... Okay. Okay. Okay, I didn't lose my lost life. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, that was my last life. So, we're gonna go by platformer logic. I'm currently at 0 lives. So if I fail, now, I have to end stream. So let's go. This doesn't count. I'm still on the ground. This doesn't count, I'm still pretty close. So if I fall now, it doesn't matter. Okay, locking in. That's actually I think that's the fastest I've been in this stream. You see that my game froze for a second. No, no, no! I did it! What did you do? Okay. I hope you guys had fun. Sorry if this stream was mostly tangents, but it is what it is, you know. Yeah. I wanted to go on that rock so I could launch myself because the pole is slippery, but I ended up launching myself the wrong way. So, I'm gonna try stream tomorrow because, like I said, if this isn't a full stream, I'll see if I can stream tomorrow. I'll see what I'll stream. So, yeah. Also, look forward to that, cover that I'm working on. Technically, I'm working on 2 covers, but the other cover's reliant on Ragnar. But I don't want to force him because he's busy with school, work, and life right now. Like, even he's barely streaming on his own. Like, yeah, he's been taking a lot more breaks. Anyways, yeah, I hope you guys had fun. Enjoy the rest of your day, and now that you mention it, I am kind of hungry. I'll probably grab a packet of chips before I go to bed. Anyways, hope you guys had fun. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow if I feel like it. But like I said, I did promise. So, bye!